Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Art of Estiology. My name is Rebecca Harris. I'm the admissions manager at the Birmingham location, and I'm so excited to tell you guys all about estiology at Aveda. So just to let you guys know, this is where we're specifically going to be talking about estiology. There's so many different resources, so I really encourage you guys to check out all of those resources on the event page. We're going to go into some things about Aveda, but if you want to learn more about why Aveda and learn more about Aveda as a brand, there's actually two breakouts that I encourage you guys to go to. There's one at 12:15 called Living Aveda, and there's another one at 3:30 called the Aveda brand. So we're going to go briefly over some things about Aveda, but I would definitely encourage you guys to check that out as well. So let's go ahead and get started. So at all of the campuses for Aveda, you're going to learn the Ayurvedic side of estiology. Some campuses offer some chemical processes as well. It just depends on your state, where, what the state board requires in your state and all of that. So I encourage you guys to check with your local admissions manager to kind of go over more specifics about what your program has to offer. What we're going to cover today are going to be the basics of all the programs. So at all the different programs, you'll learn the Ayurvedic side. So Aveda is based in Ayurveda. And what Ayurveda is this ancient Indian tradition from thousands of years ago, before there was, chemical medicine and all of that. All there were plants and flowers and minerals to kind of make these holistic healing products. And so Aveda takes its inspiration from all of those Ayurvedic roots, where we use, for instance, turmeric can be used as a really powerful anti-inflammatory. So instead of using chemical anti-inflammatory properties, we can use turmeric instead. And that's just an example of that. So at Aveda, we are a beauty company, but we're very much a wellness company too, based in those Ayurvedic kind of wellness traditions. So, you're going to learn things like, different breathing techniques, different meditation techniques. It's all about reaching that, mind-body wellness, to really help us reach all of our beauty goals. If you are stressed out, if you're not eating well, things like that, that's going to affect what we see on the outside. So at Aveda, we're going to approach skincare not only from that topical level of what we see on the outside, but also all the things on the inside of the body that could be really impacting what we see on the outside. So that's kind of like a brief overview, but I'd love for you guys to, again, check out some of those other breakouts on why Aveda, and then Aveda, as a product line as well. So let's dive into the skincare focuses of the program. So skincare is the main focus of estiology, and you guys are going to learn different facials. So, how to really do the balancing facial techniques for each type of skin, how to bring balance to oily skin, to dry skin, acneic, maturing skin, so all kinds of different skincare conditions. You guys are going to learn how to bring balance to every type of skin. You're also going to learn the plant peels. So the plant peel is Aveda's kind of natural response to the chemical peel. So that's where you're going to learn more of those, it's the same techniques, but using more of a holistic product to reach those, skincare goals there. So, learning the plant peel. Some campuses do have some of those chemical offerings as well. So again, just ask your local admissions manager on what your campus has to offer. But everyone is going to be learning those plant peels. Also the dual exfoliation treatment. So that is Aveda's response to microdermabrasion. So, learning how to create cell turnover. You're going to learn different Ayurvedic resurfacing techniques like dry skin brushing, things to kind of exfoliate and create that cell turnover. So that's going to be through the dual exfoliation treatment. And then some campuses will learn microdermabrasion as well. Then the body treatment. So thinking about being an esthetician, you have to know not only how to treat the skin on the face, but also the skin on the rest of the body. Our skin as kind of a cohesive unit. If someone is experiencing issues on their face, like maybe breakouts, congested pores, maybe they're having too much oil production, maybe they're having some dry spots, all of those things that we see on the face typically are going to be exhibited in the rest of the body as well. So, thinking about how to not not only treat breakouts on the face, but treat breakouts on maybe the chest, shoulders and back. So, really using all of those facial skincare techniques on those larger areas of skin as well, through like back facials, through different relaxing techniques from those Ayurvedic roots. So using pressure points, acupressure, all that stuff that's going to not only, create the beautiful skin, but also that feeling of wellness as well. So, Aveda is really connected with those Ayurvedic wellness roots as well. And then the science of the skin. So, really learning about, what's on the inside of the body, how do all of the systems of the body work in reaction to what we see on the outside. So, thinking about if someone has like a hormonal imbalance, if they are taking in, maybe too much dairy in their diet, all of those things are going to interact with what we see on the outside. So to be a true expert in the industry, you have to be educated on all of those internal pieces, so you know how it interacts with the outside, and you can bring someone true balance, not just treating that topical level of what you see, but also what's underneath the surface that could be creating what we see on the outside. So those are the focuses of the skincare piece. You guys are also going to learn waxing, so learning full body waxing as well as facial waxing techniques, brow artistry, etc. That's all going to be included in the program. And then makeup. So I like to pause on makeup because makeup is the only thing in the beauty industry that you actually don't have to have a formal education for. So when people call themselves a makeup artist, it's typically because they have a certain level of experience, that really allows them to make that claim. And so since there's not a formal education for it, it's kind of subjective, to whoever kind of calls themselves a makeup artist. So to be, kind of have an edge up, have a leg up on the competition, if you're a makeup artist that also has your Estheology license, that's going to show to all of those, prospective jobs that you have a formal education in the skin, and the skin is the canvas, that you create your art on. So it's really important to show you not only know how to do the art, that you see on the outside, but also how to take care of the skin so that you can create that smooth surface to create, your art on. There are some things that we can teach you though in the program. So, different application techniques, learning how to do, you lay down a liquid product before you lay down a powder product, so typical kind of application techniques. And then also, the color wheel, learning how to match different skincare shades, how to create that color pop through a color contrast. Maybe someone wants to highlight their eye color, you would go to the opposite side on the color wheel to create that contrasting color that really makes that eye color pop. So all kinds of stuff with the color wheel that will come in handy in your makeup future. And then also face shape. So not only will you learn how to work with the natural face shape and how to highlight different features, you're also going to learn different contouring techniques to kind of, create different shapes in the skin, really highlight maybe the cheeks or the eyes or something, maybe highlight the jawline, things like that. Then there is the business side of the industry. So thinking about your future and all the things that you'll need for your future, it's not enough for you to just know how to do all the hands-on techniques. It's also really important that you learn the business side of the industry. So that's where you're going to learn how to build your business, how to market yourself, how to retain new guests, how to, retain the ones that you have. So that's going to be a big piece. Learning social media building. So, this is a word of mouth type of industry, and you need to know how to kind of, build your business in person, but also how to build it online. So through that social media platform. Benchmarking. So that's going to be, keeping an eye on different business parameters. Many of you will end up at a salon or spa where you have a really strong salon or spa manager who helps you grow your business, helps you market yourself, build your brand, all of that. But some of you may end up at a spot where you're kind of more on your own. Either way, it's important for you to have that kind of, empowerment that you personally know how to grow your business and how to market yourself and, go out there and get new clients. So we're going to teach you how to do that personally so that you kind of take the reins and you can truly drive your own business. resume building and career advising. So many of you have had, different experiences that kind of could lend to this industry as well. So learning how to put together that cohesive resume that integrates all of your past experience, your any kind of education and experience, add that with everything you're going to do at Aveda so that you have that cohesive resume to go out for these spa and salon jobs. And then career advising. So we're going to have tons of different networking events and stuff to help you guys find that dream job after graduation. We're also going to teach you about the industry, the spa and salon industry, so that you know how salons and spas work. You'll know an idea of if it's like commission-based, if it's booth rental, if they offer health insurance, retirement, 401k, all of those kind of pieces are going to be what's important to you. You have to decide what's important to you, and then we're going to help you know what all is out there so that you can find that perfect match for you and you can find that dream job before you even graduate if you really utilize all those networking events and career fairs that we do throughout the year. So we've kind of talked about the basics of the program. I want to dive a little deeper into what you're going to learn at which point of the program. So these are the program phases, which we're just going to go over the basic ones that you'll learn at all of the schools. But again, there is, a little bit of difference depending on the campus that you go to, because it all kind of comes down from the state level on what that state says an esthetician should know how to do. But these are going to be the basics that's covered at all of the campuses. So in your first half is going to be when you're in the classroom, learning all of the hands-on techniques, learning all of the science that backs that up. You're also going to be doing these hands-on things, real skin. You are ready at this, even this early in your education, you're going to be ready to work on real skin, but not quite ready to maybe work with strangers yet. That comes later on when you get your business education. So before that, you're going to be ready to work with your classmates. You'll exchange services with your classmates. Then you'll bring in people from your support system. So this is a really important time for you to kind of give back and show that little bit of love and pampering, to all of those people who have been in your corner, encouraging you along, encouraging you like, that cheerleader along the process. So this is your time to bring them in, show them that little bit of love and pampering as well. For you, it's, a real set of skin to practice on, but there's someone within your comfort level, so you don't have to worry about the nervousness of working with a stranger or anything until you're ready for that piece, in the second half. So we're also going to bring in that business side so that you do know how to develop relationships, how to build loyalty and trust, all of those pieces that are really important to the industry, connecting with people. It can be, it can be kind of vulnerable to trust someone else with your skin. And we've all kind of experienced that before probably. So that those guests coming into you, they might be nervous, it can feel scary. So we want to train you to be able to establish yourself as that expert, show them that you have all the skills and education to give them what they want, and just, establish yourself as that professional. So that takes practice, just like all the hands-on techniques. So in your second semester, when you graduate up into the spa, you're not only going to be practicing all those hands-on techniques, but you're also going to be practicing those business skills. It takes both pieces, to be truly successful. So working in the spa that's within the salon is going to really allow you to put both of those pieces into practice. Not only are you going to be practicing the hands-on techniques, the business side, you're also going to be practicing time management. So, time is very much money in this industry, and just thinking about, giving someone exactly what they signed up for, but maybe not accidentally too long. Like if they sign up for a 30-minute facial, you don't want to accidentally give them a 45-minute facial, because then you'll run over on your next guest. So it's all about, managing your time, giving people, everything, that they expected and then some, but within that kind of time frame. You're also going to start prepping for your big state board exam. So that's your next big step after graduation, is to go take that state board exam. And there's a written part, which is like a multiple choice test, and also a hands-on test. So you're going to prep for both sides of that within the classroom so that you know kind of what kind of grade you're going to make when you go take that test. Kind of like in high school where you go take your ACT prepping and you kind of know what grade you're going to make when you go take the actual test. It's just like that. You're going to take these practice tests so that you have your expectations set. If you're ready to go take that test, or if you need to, study a little bit more on a certain chapter or a certain section. So you'll know that before you actually go take your big state board test. So those are the details of the program. Let's talk about what happens after graduation. So there are so many different career paths available to you with your Estheology license. So for instance, you can just go straight into a spa or a Medi-Spa. The difference between the two basically is the Medi-Spa is going to be in like a dermatologist's office or a plastic surgeon's office, and working in that environment actually allows you as an esthetician to offer more services on your service menu. So if you work at a doctor's office, you can work more with like lasers and different invasive, kind of more aggressive treatments that sometimes takes more education to be ready for the Medi-Spa. So again, talk with your local admissions manager on how to get a plan together to follow the Medi-Spa path if that's what you are interested in. Some locations of the schools even offer kind of Medi-Spa type electives, laser classes, different things that you can sign up for. So definitely reach out to see what your campus offers. Becoming a waxing specialist. So you can go in, work at a waxing bar, just doing all of those facials and body waxing. Spa director. So you may really connect with the administrative side of the industry, and having your Estheology license personally is going to help you be even more competitive in that field as well. These salon and spa owners and managers, are going to be able to, drive the business themselves, coach all of those estheticians that are on your team to kind of help them get better at their hands-on stuff, get better at their business building, because you personally know how to do that for yourself. So you can coach all of those team members to really grow their business and hone their hands-on skills and kind of polish that as well. You could be a wellness consultant. So that piece is specifically because at Aveda, we teach all of those additional wellness pieces from our Ayurvedic roots. And so you could go on to be a wellness consultant. Aveda educator. So you may really align with the education side of the industry. So we have a path, an educator internship path, where if you wanted to become an Aveda educator, talk to your local team about that, and we can let you know what that path looks like. Becoming a makeup artist. So we talked about this briefly earlier, how if you want to be a makeup artist, having your Estheology license makes you even more qualified for all of those jobs. Say you're competing for this makeup job and you're competing a bit, against a bunch of other makeup artists, but you're the only one that has your Estheology license as well. That's going to make you have a leg up on your competition, because it shows that you have that formal education, that you are an expert in that canvas. You're an expert on the skin, which is the canvas for the makeup art. And then becoming a beauty advisor or a brand rep. So those are going to be more of those kind of sales-driven jobs. So if you really relate to and enjoy a sales type of position, you could travel around. You could work for a particular skincare line or makeup line or something, and kind of drive the sales of that company through your, having your Estheology license makes you even more competitive in that field as well. So I know you guys are probably wondering, how do I become a student? So they are, all of your admissions managers are on standby at your local campuses, just waiting for you guys to reach out. So I encourage you guys again to, after the presentation, go back to that resources tab. So you'll go to the school directory and see who you can specifically reach out to kind of start the admissions process. I also want to give a moment, we've got a couple minutes left. I want to leave a moment open for questions and answers. So I see I've actually got a couple of questions that have come in already. Let's see. So what are we doing about COVID and the classroom? So that's a really good question. We have different offerings depending on your campus. We've got the in-person education, but we also have online options available for people who are not comfortable coming into the campus yet. So we really can, kind of let you choose where your comfort level is. If you do choose online classes, know that we've got a lot of really strict safety protocols in place to keep everyone safe on campus. There's mandatory temperature checks at every entrance. That short survey of different symptoms that you may be experiencing, or if you've been exposed to anyone with symptoms. Everyone is going to be mandatory mask wearing on campus as well. So we have been able to keep everyone on campus safe, but we know that there are some people who would prefer to start their education through the online platform. So, reach out to your local admissions manager for more information about what offerings your specific campus has, but all of us are going to have some level of online or in-person education, either one. Good question. Let's see what else. How often do classes start? So we start classes, again, it depends on your specific campus, but we start classes generally every 12 weeks, perhaps every 14 weeks, just depending on, your specific state. So that will be one that you'd want to reach out to your local admissions manager to get more information. But a lot of the campuses have these September classes coming up. If not September, there may be like an October class. So just reach out to your local admissions manager for more information about that. Let's see. What is the class schedule? So that also kind of depends on your campus. We have, some part-time options depending on the campus, full-time as well. If you're in a full-time program, you're at a 4-day-a-week usually campus, so 4 school days and 3 off days. But again, that'll just depend on your specific campus and what they have, because some have, those part-time options, but just reach out to your local admissions manager for more information. And then any other questions? Looks like we don't have any more questions, so just reach out, to your local admissions manager if there's anything on your mind, anything that you'd like to learn more about, and we will just be on standby to help you plan the next steps for your future and for your education. Definitely check out the other breakouts, so make sure that you look over all of the different speakers, the guest speakers that are going to be doing different lectures, and why Aveda, all of those pieces, so check that out. And thank you guys so much for joining me this morning for the Art of Estiology.